This conference will now be recorded.
Am I right, audience? Do you agree with me? Isn't it? We need to have a
Yes.
strong commitment. Am I right, Karthik?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so please maintain curiosity. It's generally a human psychology, so we should maintain our curiosity so that we will maintain the consistency and regularly attending class. Okay, our tendency is sometimes we feel uh, 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 we think like this. Anyways, we get the recording, right? So we can go through the recording later. So let us skip this one class. That's our psychology. Human psychology happens. But we'll never get a chance to go through the video later, and that postponement happens. Okay, so that's out of my experience. I have seen a lot of participants following that. We think that yes, we have the videos. Okay, so at any time we can go through the videos. That's how we postpone it, and that's how we skip one class. And once we start skipping classes, so we'll have more number of absence, and then that's how we lose the interest. Okay, so am I right? Because
Absolutely.
so maintain that momentum. Okay, maintain that seriousness. So from both ends, curiosity, seriousness should be there from both ends. Then only the training will be very effective. Okay. Okay. So okay. So let's proceed. So this session, as you can see in the slide, the prerequisite to learn DevOps is that we should be good in Linux, basics of Linux. So we start with Linux. As we know, this is a Windows operating system. We cannot learn Linux here. We need a Linux operating system. So option 1, formatting this laptop and installing Linux. Okay, that's option 1. Format the Windows machine and install Linux. Option 2, use the technology like VMware. Can you see here? We have a VMware workstation. I hope you know how the VMware works. Okay, it's a virtual machine. So here my VM, inside my VM we have Red Hat Linux. Okay, so I can anytime resume this Linux machine. So this is my Linux machine. I got my Linux machine without formatting my Windows machine. So whenever I want to practice Linux, I open VMware. I start my virtual machine and open terminal here, and I start learning the Linux commands. So this is option 2. Without formatting my Windows machine, using the tool called as VMware, I have created a virtual Linux machine and I can practice this Linux. And once I'm done with practicing, I can again suspend my machine. Option 2. Option 3, we can create a Linux machine on AWS Cloud. We can create a Linux machine on AWS Cloud. Okay. So which is the preferred one? Obviously, I don't want to use my hardware for VMware. I hope you all know this because you are all been attending my AWS classes. So whatever I'm explaining you, I hope you are very much familiar. Okay. So please bear with me. There are few participants who are completely new. How many of you are not from AWS batch? Please unmute. How many participants currently are not from AWS batch? Munir.
Hi, sir. It's me, Binu from Kerala. I was not attending the session of AWS. Yeah.
Munir, you are
Hi,
not from
Sunil.
AWS.
Yeah, not from it.
Are you familiar with AWS?
Uh, uh,
Sunil, this is Vishwanath. I'm not from AWS.
Okay.
Sunil, we are a bit familiar with the AWS. I think we can follow you. No problem.
Okay. Thank you. Srikanth,
Yes, Sunil.
are you familiar with AWS?
Not from your AWS batch, but I'm much familiar with AWS,
AWS.
especially EC2.
Fine. Please go ahead. Thank you very much. So I quickly, as most of the participants are already familiar with AWS, and so I don't much take time today. So we'll be creating Linux machine on AWS environment. We'll be creating the Linux machine on AWS environment, and we'll start learning Linux on AWS cloud. Okay. So if you want to create a Linux machine on AWS, first you need to have an AWS account. Let me quickly go through this. So the site is aws.amazon.com. Okay, so go to that site and create a new account. What you need is an email address, password, okay, your mobile name and debit card. So enter your details, make sure the type is personal. I'm just walking through quickly. Enter your debit card details. For all the participants who are complete, more as no participant, as every participant is familiar in AWS, and quickly go through it. Use this document, provide your debit card details, and then provide your address, and then verify your address. Okay, and enter your mobile number. You'll get a one-time password. Provide the right password. You need to you'll get the one-time password 2 times, one from the bank account, one from the AWS team. Take the plan as free plan. That's it. Using this document, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. Okay, so I'll be sharing this document also for the participants who are not having AWS account. Please follow this document. And I know all the participants are having an AWS account as per my discussion, so I'm not focusing this. Generally, I'll focus this. I'll take one session to create a new explaining the AWS account and creating a Linux machine. As all the participants are familiar with AWS, I'm going ahead and logging into my AWS account. I'm creating a Linux machine. Yes.
Hey, Sunil. I'm sorry, but I joined your AWS, but by the time I got to know about your classes, it was 4 or 5 classes, so I
Because
missed those things.
okay.
Yeah.
Now you are familiar with the EC2 environment, isn't it?
Yeah. I think
Okay,
after
so
4 or 5 classes, I started joining because I got to know.
that's fine. And you also have an
very
AWS
late.
account.
Well, I have the account, but I don't know the basics. I just created by myself. I don't know if you shared any,
That's
little,
it.
small
This is a
pieces,
simple,
pieces of
straightforward
information.
AWS account. The document which I have, okay, I'll be sharing the document to you. So using that, you
Sure.
can just go through it. That's okay.
Thank you.
So let's proceed. Creating a new EC2. I switch to Mumbai.
Sunil, if we created EC2 machine and keep it, I mean, it is a free account. So keep it. Is there any, I mean, charges will be applied? And daily basis
Yes.
deleting and creating.
No, daily
We need
basis
to
you can
delete it.
delete and you have to delete it. Otherwise, it will be billed. Okay.
Okay.
Services EC2. Now, EC2 machines are nothing but the virtual machines which will create on AWS environment. So ignore the virtual machine which we already have it. So I'm going ahead creating a new Linux machine on AWS, and we'll be using that Linux machine to practice the Linux commands. So as we all know how to create a Linux machine, I'm not taking much time. So within just 2 minutes, we'll be creating a Linux machine. And this time I want to go with the Amazon Linux, not Amazon, Ubuntu operating system. Red Hat, SUSE. I'm going with Ubuntu 18, which is eligible for free tier. I want to create an Ubuntu Linux. Security group is all about the ports needs to be opened. What port I'm opening? SSH port, that's fine. Create a new key pair. Linux KP, today's date 18. Done. I'm done creating a Ubuntu flavor, okay, of Linux. Any questions in creating a Linux machine?
Why you choose the Ubuntu? I mean, there are a lot of Linux machines. You have
If
chosen
you
the
can choose
Ubuntu.
anything, you can choose Red Hat. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm sticking to Ubuntu because all AWS we are showing with AWS Linux, right? So this time let's proceed with the other flavor. So I stay selected as Ubuntu, and then there is no specific reason. To say any examples works on other platforms also. Nothing special. Created a Linux machine. Chanakya?
Yes, yes, no.
Yes, Vikas.
So in the previous class also we used Linux machine, and now also we are using. What can we use Windows as well or not?
What's our
Why
agenda?
can't
Why did we create a Linux machine?
for the
To learn Linux
terminal?
commands.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah, but
prereq-
in the previous session also, like AWS class also we using the Linux only.
Yes. No, now coming to this one, the prerequisite for DevOps is to learn Linux commands.
Yeah.
So that is the reason we have created Linux machine. So there's a reason for it.
Mhm.
In this Linux machine, we'll be learning the Linux commands.
Okay.
That's it. Chanakya.
Yeah, sir.
Now how to connect to this Linux? Tell me.
Yeah, using PuTTY.
Mhm. Please guide me. So shall I open PuTTY?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes, here we have to view public IP of that Linux machine we have created.
Mhm. Okay. Next.
And then SSH authentication, we need to view PPK file there.
We don't have the PPK file, right? We have a PEM file.
Okay, for that, yeah, sorry. For that, we need to convert PIM to PPK file using PuttyGen.
So you remember it. Hmm?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Then
Let's browse the PEM file. Linux KP18. Save private key.
your private key.
Now open.
Yeah, now open putty and same procedure. Public IP.
These two dots here. Login as.
As it is Ubuntu, we have to type Ubuntu. If it is Linux, we have to type ec2-user.
Ubuntu.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Instead of IP address, can I use
Yeah, we can use DNS name as well.
user at DNS name? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is user.
Yes.
So you don't need to type it again. You have to clearly mention the user at the DNS name. You'll be connected. Fine. Okay. So I have connected.
Yes.
Settings for better visibility. One quick information I want to pass it to now batch. If you have any of your friends who is having approximately 2 years of experience in DevOps and AWS, okay, looking for some change, there is one company in Hyderabad, so they're looking for 2 years of experience in DevOps and AWS. If your friends are having 2 years of experience in DevOps and AWS, share his profile to me. Okay, I'll forward to HR. It's not a big company, it's a small company, right? Okay, thank you. Done. Connect. So why did we connect? Why did we? So all this we have done. We have learned how to create a Linux machine. How can we cut it? So the agenda, actually, the newcomers, it will take one session. So I'm done with this agenda. So let's proceed with the next slide. Sorry, this is already done. So let's proceed with this. So we'll be learning how to connect using Git Bash. Not only Putty, we have one more terminal called Git Bash. So today we'll be experiencing, other than Putty, we have one more terminal called Git Bash. Using that Git Bash, we'll be connecting to the Linux machine. Next, we'll be learning some basic commands like how to create a file, how to remove a file, how to create a directory, how to remove the directory, go back to previous directories, removing a directory, like this, creating nested directories, how to change the directory, how to change the present working directory, how to see list, long list, what happens when a file name starts with dots, how to see hidden files. These are the options. This is our plan for our today's session. So without any wait, let's proceed. Now, we know as of now that there's only one, as of now, we have experienced only one terminal, that is called as Putty. We have created a Linux machine, and we're using the terminal called PuTTY. Using the terminal called PuTTY, we are connecting to that Linux machine, is it? Okay, fine. Now we have one more terminal which is similar to PuTTY. It is called as Git Bash. So let us experience other terminal called as Git Bash. Git Bash is also the terminal similar to PuTTY, using which you can also connect to the Linux machine. So we have created Linux machine on AWS, and we have successfully connected to that Linux machine using which terminal? PuTTY. Now I don't want to show you how to connect from PuTTY. I want to show you how to connect from Git Bash. So first you need to download this terminal Git Bash in your personal laptops or desktops, isn't it? So you will not get by default. So go to Google. Search for what is the terminal called as? Git Bash download. Get the first link. You want to download Git Bash for Windows operating system, am I right? I want to download in my downloads folder. It's an exe file. So obviously once we download the exe file, we need to run the exe file and install Git Bash in your Windows machine. Done. Git Bash is installed. It's downloaded. It's an exe file. Same procedure for Mac. Select Mac operating system. That's it instead of Windows. So install it. Installing Git Bash is pretty simple. Do you want to allow this software to get installed? Yes. Next. Next, 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 next. Take default options. Install Git Bash. We are experiencing a new terminal. As of now, we know that there's only one terminal called PuTTY, and we are using the terminal to connect to Linux machines. Now I am using one more terminal called Git Bash.
Yes, Anil.
Yes.
Vikas here, just for understanding. I heard about PuTTY, but never heard about the Git Bash. In the real world, how many percentage of people use Git Bash?
Yeah, many people use this. So in the real time, you can see many people using Git Bash instead of PuTTY. Okay.
Is it preferred over PuTTY or
Widely
the Git
PuTTY,
Bash?
widely it is PuTTY. Git Bash is also used. Okay. Okay, so that's the reason. It's
Okay.
always good to experience other terminals also. Git bash is downloaded and it's installed. Now, how do you know whether the Git bash is installed or not? Okay, so if you go to start button, search for Git bash, you'll find, see, search for Git, you'll find Git bash. This is a terminal. Git bash is a terminal. Using this terminal also, like Putty, like how you have connected to the Linux machine, using Git bash also you can connect to the Linux machine. Perfect. Now Git bash is open. Fine. And you know how to download the Git bash and then run the exe file. The Git bash is installed. Now the point is, okay, fine, Git bash is successfully downloaded and installed in your Windows machine, in your personal laptop. But my point is, how can we connect to the Linux machine using Git bash? Whenever you have created a Linux machine, it has downloaded what file? It has downloaded the PEM file. Now, where is the PEM file available? This PEM file, I think Linux 18 kp, the PEM file is available in my F drive. It's a Sunil folder. I think this is the location, Linux. This is the PEM file. Okay. Go to the location where the PEM file is available and right click to that particular folder. You will have an option, open Git bash from here. You need to open Git bash from the folder where the PEM file is available. My PEM file is available in F drive Sunil folder. So you need to open Git bash from that particular location. See, right now you're pointing, your Git bash is pointing to F drive Sunil folder. From here, how can we connect? This is the Linux machine which you have created. Click on connect. You'll be connecting using the SSH command. Can you see the copy the entire SSH command? Paste. Are you sure you want to connect to this Linux machine? Yes. You're connected. Are you getting the IP address 172.31.43.20? What does that mean? Yes, perfect. You're done. You are done connecting to the Linux machine using Git bash. That's it. Very simple. In fact, Git bash is more comfortable way of connecting to the Linux machine, because in case if you want to connect from Putty, so your first additional task, what you have to do is to convert the PEM file to PPK file. That's the additional responsibility if you want to connect from Putty. Whereas Git bash, you don't need to convert the PEM file to PPK file. Directly from the PEM file you have connected. You're not using the PPK file. You don't need to use the PPK file. Here, directly from the PEM file itself, you will connect. Using what command? Using what command? Using what command? SSH command.
SSH command.
You don't need to remember the SSH command. Just click on the Linux machine, get the SSH command. So using that SSH command, just copy paste it, you'll be connected to the Linux machine. So from now, we'll be using Git bash also, so that we'll be familiar with the Git bash environment connected to the Linux machine. Any questions? Any questions using the new terminal called Git bash, using which we are connected? Pretty simple, isn't it? Yes, perfect. Let's proceed. Creating a file. Let's also increase the font size. Next.
Sunil, Ananya here.
Yes, Ananya.
Can't we connect directly from our Windows machine to the Linux through our Windows terminal using SSH key?
You can also do that. Try. Okay. Yes, you
Yeah.
get it.
Okay.
Okay. How to create a file in Linux, Ananya? Do you have any idea?
I use Echo or Nano.
To create a file?
Actually, I'm not so familiar with the Linux commands.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. We can create a file in Linux by using a command called cat. we can create a file in Linux by using a command called cat command. So let's say, for example, I want to create a file with the name f1. What is the name of the file we want? I want to create a file with the name f1. So we have a command called cat command. So it's very simple. Remember the syntax. Cat is a command. Use greater than symbol followed with the file name which you want to create, f1. The file gets created. Control enters into the file, write the contents in the file, and then come out of the cat command. So we'll be learning how to create a file by using the cat command. Please experience it. Cat, what symbol? Greater than. What is the name of the file which you want to create? f1. Observe what happens. You will not get the dollar prompt. Your control is inside the file. Write the contents into the file. This is the 3 lines of content which I want to write it into the file. How to come out of the cat command? Control D to come out of the cat command. So I press Control D. You'll be out from the cat command and you get the dollar prompt back. Clear? How to create? We are done successfully creating a file. What is the name of the file which you have created? F1. What is the content in the file? Good morning, welcome to DevOps and thank you. And how to come out of the cat command to back to the dollar prompt by using Control D, you will be out from the cat command. Clear about how to create a file? I want to create a file F2. Write the contents, whatever you want. How to come out of the cat command? Control D. Done with creating a file. I am done with creating a file. How many files I have created? F1 as well as F2. So we know how to create a file. How to see list of all the files which we have created? How to see list of all the files we have created? How many files we have created? 2 files. Yes, you are right. We have created 2 files, F1 as well as F2. How to see the list of all the files which you have created? We have a command called ls to see the list of all the files. Obviously, how many files are expected? 2 files are expected, F1 and F2. So you know how to create a file by using the cat command. You also know how to see the list of all the files which you have created by using ls. ls stands for list. To see the list of
Sunil,
yes.
if you use control D, by default it will be saved. The content inside the file will be saved, or else just will come out.
No, content inside the file. Contents inside the file is saved, and you will be out from
come
the
out.
cat.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. How many files we have created? 2 files. ls to show a list of all. I want to see the content in the file. In F1, we have written some 3 lines of content, right? Good morning. Thank you for DevOps. And we have some written 3 lines of content. I want to read the data. I don't want to create a new file. I want to see the information present in the existing file. If you want to see the data present in the existing file, right? Cat followed with the file name F1. Greater the symbol, you should use it only when you're creating a new file. We need to use symbol greater than to create a new file. I don't want to create a new file. I want to see the data in the existing file. So do not use greater than symbol. Just mention cat followed with the file name. I want to read the contents in the F1. Cat F1. Are you able to view the contents in the file F1? Similarly, I want to see the content in the file F2. Very simple. Cat F2. Are you able to read the contents? Yes. You know how to create a file. You know how to see the list of all the files which we have created. You also now know how to see the contents present in a file. How many files we have created? 2 files. I want to remove the file. F2 is not required. I want to remove a file. What is a command to remove a file? We have a command called rm, stands for remove. What is the file you want to remove? F2. Then file is removed. Now how many files we have? If you see ls to see the list of all the files, now you are having only one file. What about the second file F2? We have removed. Removing is nothing but deleting. Removing is nothing but deleting. Done with creating a file using the cat command, how to see the information present in the file, how to see list of all the files, and how to remove a file. Let's learn with directories. Let's learn with directories in Linux.
Hello, Sunil.
Yes, who is this?
Sandhya.
Sandhya.
I just want, suppose if I just want to append some of the things and content to the F1 file, what are the commands?
For example, F1 is having what information we are having in F1? Good morning, welcome to DevOps, and thank you. Okay. I want to add fourth line. You want to add fourth line. So all the best. Control D to come out. Cat F1. Previously the file was 3 lines, Sandhya. Now I have appended the fourth line on the best. Am I right, Sandhya?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, so use double arrow mark, single arrow mark if you want to create a new file. But if you want to add the contents to an existing file, use double arrow mark, open the file. So whatever the new contents you will be adding, you will be added at the last. Okay. Clear? And Control D to come out.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dealing with directories. Dealing with directories. Directory is nothing but a folder. In Windows it is called as a folder. In Linux it is called as a directory. I want to create a directory D1. I want to create a directory. The name of the directory is D1. How to create directory in Linux? mkdir is the command. Stands for make directory. Mention the directory which you want to create. That's it. Directory gets created. So let's do it. mkdir, make directory. Done with creating a directory. I want to create D2. Done with creating second directory. ls, look at the output. Will show you not only files, ls will show you files as well as directories, both. ls will list all the files and directories, not only files. You'll find all the files as well as directories. So we have learned how to create a file. Sorry, we have learned how to create a directory. D1 and D2 are the directories and F1 is a file. Okay. Remove a directory. D2 I don't want. I want to remove the directory. mkdir stands for make directory. rmdir stands for remove directory. I want to remove second directory D2. Done. Directory is removed. We have one file, one directory. Okay. They're done with creating a file and creating a directory.
Can we rename the file while it's on a directory?
Sorry, repeat. Is it Vikas?
Yes, Sunil. Can
Yes,
we rename the file name?
we'll do that.
Directory?
Yeah, we can do it everything. We'll see soon. So we are done how to create a files, create directories, remove the files and remove the directories. Okay. Okay. When you to know the current path in which you are working. You're working in Linux machine, right? So what is your current path? If you want to check the current path in which you are working, we have a command called pwd. Can you hear me? pwd.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Stands for print working directory. This print working directory will print you the current path. So currently you're working in /home/ubuntu. Very important. If you want to know the current path in which you are working, so pwd, print working directory, will show you the current path. Right now you're in /home/ubuntu. That means all the files which you create, f1, f2, d1, d2, which you are creating. So actually they are creating inside this /home/ubuntu. Inside Ubuntu, all the files you are creating. You're creating all the files and directories you are there in the current print working directory. Okay, clear about pwd, print working directory. So whenever you want to check in which location you are in Linux, so use pwd command to get the current print working directory. Okay. Now d1 is a directory. As I said, your directory is nothing but a folder. I want to create files inside the directory. We have a directory d1. We have a directory d1. In this directory, I want to create a file called as f100. I want to create a file f100, not here, inside the d1. Okay. So how to enter into the directory? First, you need to enter into the directory, isn't it? So we have a command called cd, stands for change directory. Will help you to change to the directory which you want. You want to change to which directory? Please tell me. You want to change to which directory? D1, you're right. cd d1. Let's learn how this command works. Change to d1. Yes. Now you are in d1. How can you confirm whether you are in d1 or not? Print it. /home/ubuntu/d1. Previously you are in /home/ubuntu. Right now you are in /home/ubuntu. Inside Ubuntu you are in d1. That's what your plan. And you want to create a file inside the d1. Which file you want to create a file? You want to create a file with the name f100. So can we use cat greater than f100? Write the contents whatever you want. How to come out of the cat command? Control D to come out of the cat command. Clear? We have created directory. We have entered into the directory. And then we have created a file inside the directory. ls will show you a list of all the files. How many files you are having? f100. It will show you a list of all the files inside the d1. Don't think it will list out all the files f1, d1, all this outside the directory. No, ls will show you a list of all the files which are there inside this d1. How many files we have inside the d1? Only one file, that is f100. Am I clear? You know how to create a directory. The new thing what we have learned is how to change the directory from one directory to other directory. Currently, where are you working with? In which location, in which path you are currently working? pwd, you are in /home/ubuntu d1. Next, very important. d1 is a directory. Yes. For the d1, the parent directory is ubuntu. For the d1, the parent directory is ubuntu. I want to go back to its parent directory. For d1, the parent directory is ubuntu. I want to go back to the parent directory. When you want to go back to the parent directory, we have a command cd double dot. Will help to go to the parent directory or previous directory. D1, the parent is Ubuntu, right? You're back to Ubuntu now. Confirm it. You're back to its parent. Is it clear? Is this clear what I'm trying to say? So you know how to move to the next directory and how you know how to go to the previous directory. ls will show you list of all the files which are there in the Ubuntu. We have f1 and fd1. I want to remove d1. I want to remove the directory d1. I want to remove the directory d1. We have seen, we have already have written a command mkdir for creating a directory. rmdir is for removing the directory. This time you want to remove which directory? D1. So what is the command here? Please tell me. Rm dir followed to the directory name which you want to remove. D1. Observe, this command will fail. This command will fail. rmdir D1. Failed to remove the D1 directory. Directory is not empty. Directory is not empty. rmdir works only when the directory is empty. Last time it has successfully worked and we have successfully removed D2 because it's empty. Isn't it, Sandhya? Last time we have successfully removed the directory because it is empty. Now you are unable to remove D1 because D1 is not empty. Clear? Now how to delete a directory if the directory is having some nested files and nested directories? It's not empty, but still I want to remove it. We have a command rm-r. Which directory you want to remove? D1. First let's run this. rm-r D1 directory is removed. What does R stands for? Recursive. R stands for recursive. That means it removes the nested files and nested directories which are there in the D1, and then it removes the D1 completely. So complete directory is removed. So if there are 100 files and 100 directories inside D1, all the contents will be removed, and finally the directory is removed. So in two ways we can remove the directory: by using rmdir command. The other one is rm-r. You know the difference. rmdir is used only when the directory is empty. If the directory is not empty, so we use rm-r to remove the directory. So this is the more preferred way, irrespective whether the directory is empty or not. If you use rm-r, the directory is removed. Directory is removed. Yes, directory is removed. So if you see ls now, you have no directory, you have only one file. Clear? So you know, creating a file, remove. You know how to use git bash. Creating a file, yes, you're familiar. Removing a file, creating a directory, deleting a directory. Go to its previous directory. How to go to the previous directory? Cd double dot. Now this is what my plan is now. This is my plan. I want to create a directory D1. I want to create a directory D1. Inside D1, I want to create D2. Inside D2, I want to create a directory D3. Inside D3, I want to create directory D4. This is for plan. This nested directories, which I want to do it. Ananya, so can you guide me? So what is the series of commands we need to do it to achieve this task? What's the first command?
First, we need to mkdir make directory D1. And then we need to create second directory using the same command mkdir D2. And the third one, which follows the same mkdir D3 and same D4.
That's it. We are done.
No, I think we need to change.
1 minute. So when you do this, what happens? D1, D2, D3, D4. Like will be created like this. I want to create D2 inside D1. Look at this hierarchical structure.
Okay,
Sandhya.
I missed that.
So first after creating D1, you need to enter into D1. So how to enter into D1? CD. Am I right?
CD D1, yeah. CD D2, CD D3.
And if you want to enter into D4, in case if you are required, CD
D4.
Now here, if you want to confirm where exactly you're pointing to, you can use PWD print working directory in case if you want to verify your current directory. So like this, we should be using the series of commands to achieve this part, which I'm referring to. So let's proceed. I want to do it. Directory created, entered into the directory, directory created, entered into second directory. Inside second directory, I have created a third directory. Inside third directory, I'm creating fourth directory, and I want to enter into the fourth directory. If you want to confirm, you're in which location? /home/Ubuntu. Inside Ubuntu, there's a directory D1. Inside D1, you have D2. Inside D2, you have D3. Inside the D3, you have D4. Like this, you should be quickly working out some series of commands and then create files, and as well as you should be hands-free working with this case. Okay. The point is, for D4, the parent is D3. For D3, the parent is D2. For D2, the parent is D1, isn't it? For D1, the parent is Ubuntu. For Ubuntu, the parent is home. So like this, we have directories inside other directories. Fine. Now, if I go to cd dot dot, cd dot dot, we already have experience. You'll go to its parent directory. For D4, the parent is D3. You will be moved to D3. Okay. Now, my location is, I want to go to /home/Ubuntu. I want to go back to the Ubuntu directory. So option 1, cd dot dot, you'll go to D3, cd dot dot, you'll go to D2, cd dot dot, you'll go to D1, cd dot dot, you'll go to Ubuntu. 4 times you should write that command, step by step going to the previous directories. Instead of writing cd dot dot 4 times, you can write single command, cd, mention the complete path from the starting, /home/. That's it, right? Yes. So any directory you want, you can change to that particular directory by mentioning the complete path. If you want, you can confirm it. Right now you're in /home/Ubuntu. Got it? So I just want to show you at any point of time, you can navigate to any path in Linux by mentioning the command called change directory and write the complete path. And you can go to the any location, whichever you want. I hope I'm very clear. I want to go back to D4 directly. I want to directly jump to D4. I want to directly, Dinesh, I want to, right now I'm in /home/Ubuntu. I want to directly jump to D4. If you want to jump to D4, tell me the command.
You can use cd full command like /home/Ubuntu.
Write the complete command,
/home/Ubuntu/d1, d2, d3, d1, d2, d3, d4.
That's it.
Sunil, one more doubt. If you are getting a requirement, see, if we want to create 10 directories, we can't go inside one by one and we can create like. Instead, will there be any command to create directly? I mean, like nested directories.
No. The list of commands, if you want to execute list of commands, you can write it as a batch and run it. Okay, that gets executed.
Okay, so now you went, see, first you created D1, then you went inside D1 and then D2 again.
Yeah.
So instead of that, we can't give any single line.
That's
no, it's not possible.
Series of commands, you can write it as a file and run the file that gets executed.
Okay. So without directly, we can't. We don't have any command.
No.
Okay, Sunil. Okay.
Hello, Sunil.
1 minute. Yes, Asif. Is it Asif?
Hello. Yes, Asif. Can we have file also in D1? Like we have created directory and.
Your question is, can we have?
can we have file also in D1 directory, and after that we can make directory also?
Yes, you can do it. So where you want to create a file?
Suppose I want to create a file in D1 also.
D1.
Directory.
First you need to go to D1. No. First you need to go to D1, isn't it? Asif?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
want to create a file. You want to create a file in D1. Okay. So first go to
Yes.
D1. How to go to D1? Asif, tell me the command.
cd slash home slash D1.
Right now you are in D1. Using the cat command, create a file. Let's, for example, file 25 is the name of the file which you want to create. How to come out of the cat command? Control D to come out of the cat command.
Control D.
Now if you see ls in the D1, D1 is having one directory. D1
One
is having
directory.
what directory it is
Yeah,
having?
and one file also.
What
D2.
directory? D2. It is having D2 as well as it is having F25.
25. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey Sunil, a follow-up question on the directory. When we have the long directory list like D1, D2, D5, can we make as a shortcut or any kind of favorite kind of thing so we don't need to write all those
You
things?
can set a home directory, and whenever you want, you can change back to home directory. Okay. So yes, there are options. Okay. We will do that.
So, is there any way, as you have mentioned, we can put the commands in some file? How to execute? Say, example, I have a lot of commands for.
That's what I said you, right? As I just told you, whenever you want some set of commands, you can write it in a command set of commands and run it, isn't it? That's what you're talking about, Hafiz?
Yeah. That's what.
It can be done. It can be done. Okay.
It can
So
be
don't
done,
worry.
but how to do it? How to execute that file?
I will show you. We don't need that actually. Okay. So we don't need to do that requirement. Okay. Yes. So we have learned how to create this kind of nested directories. The reason why I have created D1, D2 to make yourself comfortable how to go to any directory whichever you want from cd command, not only cd dot dot. Okay, to just make ourselves comfortable with cd commands. And we also know rmdir fails and even half an hour recursive will work. Okay, next. Okay, we have created one file and one directory. Asif, I have a question. F1 is a file or a directory?
File.
D1 is a
directory.
How are you identifying which one is a file and which one is a directory?
I think based on color.
Yes. So as of now, we have created a file. So we remember, okay, we have created D1 is a directory and F1 is a file. We remember. Let's say there's some predefined files and predefined directories. How to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory? As of now, one way of identifying the file and directory is by using the color. File it is showing is in white color, isn't it? And directory is showing in blue color. So color is one way of identifying the difference between file as well as a directory. If a terminal does not support colors, sometimes a terminal does not support color. Everything is shown in black and white, as if. In that case, how to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory? Okay.
I think based on hierarchy.
How to?
D1 is by D1 is showing first, and after that it is showing F1. No, I think.
So okay, by looking at this list order, you cannot confirm whether it's a file or a directory. Okay, there's other way to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory, and get more information about files and directories. That's called as a long list, which is very frequently used. As of now, how to see list of all the files by using ls command. You are showing the list of all the files. There is something called long list. will give you more information about the files and directories, but this will not start it in today's session. We'll start it in tomorrow's session. So long list, creating hidden files, creating hidden directories, combination of ls options, copying a file, working with permissions. There are many more concepts of Linux which we should have a quick revision that we will be not doing in today's session, that we'll be doing in our tomorrow's session. So this is what we have planned for our today's session. The prerequisite for DevOps is Linux. All of us should be familiar with some basic commands of Linux and basic understanding about the Linux. Okay, so that's the reason we are starting with Linux. So tomorrow also we'll proceed and learn more concepts about the learning with Linux, working with permissions, changing the permissions. How can we change the permissions? What is sudo keyword? How to work with packages? These are the upcoming concepts what we need to be familiar with the Linux command. So the objective of tomorrow's session also completely be working on Linux, and later we'll move to the first tool of DevOps that is called as Git. Okay, thank you all. Any questions, Vinay?
Sunil, one
Yeah,
question
sir.
from my end.
1 minute. Rekha,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Using cat command, can we add the contents in the middle of the file?
Whenever you want to do more additions, then we go for VI editor, Rekha. So tomorrow
Okay.
we will also learn about the concept of VI editor, where you can edit the change and make yourself comfortable in anywhere in the file. And there's one more way of creating the file by using the touch command that we'll be experiencing in tomorrow's class. Okay, Rekha?
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Vikas.
Yes, this Linux commands are case sensitive, right?
Which one? Yes, Linux commands are case sensitive. You are right.
Okay.
Use small case.
For everything.
Yes.
So if we need to create a directory called capital D1, will that be supported or no?
That is supported. File names, commands are case sensitive. File namings and directory namings, anything.
Okay, thanks.
Hello. Sunil,
Yes,
Akhil
Akhil.
here.
What's your plan today?
Actually, today just learning and some other activities.
Okay. Currently working?
No, Sunil.
Okay. Yeah, currently from which city? You're in which location?
Currently, Karimnagar.
Okay.
It is a hometown.
Okay.
So my doubt is like in AWS, when we given IAM rules for only like full access for EC2, can the user create VPC?
If you have admin full access?
No, yesterday actually I have given only EC2 full access. I have tried with like a user with to creating VPC. When I created S3, it shows access denied. But when I created VPC, it is created.
Okay.
So will there is any? I mean, did I made any mistake, or will that is that possible?
No, that is possible. Okay. Generally
possible.
Yeah, it is possible. Okay. Creating a network is possible. Okay.
For S3 also it can be possible if you give full access.
No.
Only for EC2.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So, ask AWS doubts in AWS batch, DevOps doubts in DevOps batch. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, so here we have used it. Yeah. Here we have used it like for remove when we are removing this what rm-r directory
You're
name.
talking about directories or file?
Yeah, directories. When we are removing, if there is any content or if there is any file, we are using -r, right? So can we use -f there forcefully?
Try it.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. See tomorrow where we learn many more concepts, important concepts in fact. Dealing with permissions is very important. Working with packages is very important. Understanding the sudo keyword is important. And yes, long list, working with long list is also important. So many more interesting concepts on tomorrow's session. Tomorrow is very, very important session. Okay, so make yourself comfortable with Linux. So whoever is very, very serious in DevOps, make yourself comfortable in Linux also. Thank you all. Have a nice time. Thank you, Chanakya. Thank you, Srikanth.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sandhya. Binoop. Send the resume. You have my email address, right?
Mail.
Hmm?
Sir, your
So
email.
you send,
Okay.
I have sent you in the chat box. Your friend is having 2 years experience, Binoop?
I think he has three years experience, 3 to 4.
Send it. If he's looking for
Okay.
change, send it.
Yes. He's in Hyderabad only. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.